Welcome to the last episode in this Get It Done Certified AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, CLF-C02 playlist. We'll finish with questions 141 through 150, followed by the correct answers and explanations. Question 141. A company that has multiple business units wants to centrally manage and govern its AWS cloud environments. The company wants to automate the creation of AWS accounts, apply service control policies, SCP, and simplify billing processes. Option A, AWS organizations. Option B, Cost Explorer. Option C, AWS budgets. Option D, AWS Trusted Advisor Amazon. The correct answer is A, AWS organizations. Explanation: AWS organizations enables multi-account creation, centralized policy (SCP), enforcement, and consolidated billing. Why not option B? Cost Explorer analyzes and visualizes cost data, but does not manage accounts or policies. Why not option C? AWS budget sets cost and usage thresholds with alerts, does not orchestrate account creation. Why not option D? Trusted Advisor provides best practice recommendations, not account governance. Question 142. A company is hosting an application in the AWS cloud. The company wants to verify that underlying AWS services and general AWS infrastructure are operating normally. Which combination of AWS services can the company use to gather the required information? Choose 2. Option A, AWS Personal Health Dashboard. Option B, AWS Systems Manager. Option C, AWS Trusted Advisor. Option D, AWS Service Health Dashboard. Option E, AWS Service Catalog Amazon. The correct answers are A and D. Option A, AWS Personal Health Dashboard. Option D, AWS Service Health Dashboard. Explanation: the Personal Health Dashboard provides account-specific operational alerts, while the Service Health Dashboard shows global AWS service status. Why not option B? Systems Manager manages instances and operations, not AWS Service Health. Why not option C? Trusted Advisor offers infrastructure best practice checks, not live service status. Why not option E? Service Catalog manages approved resource portfolios, not service availability. Question 143. A company needs to migrate a PostgreSQL database from on-premises to Amazon RDS. Which AWS service or tool should the company use to meet this requirement? Option A, Cloud Adoption Readiness Tool. Option B, AWS Migration Hub. Option C, AWS Database Migration Service, AWS DMS. Option D, AWS Application Migration Service, Amazon. The correct answer is C, AWS Database Migration Service, AWS DMS. Explanation: DMS automates and simplifies homogeneous database migrations to Amazon RDS with minimal downtime. Why not option A? Cloud Adoption Readiness Tool assesses readiness, not the migration itself. Why not option B? Migration Hub tracks migration progress but does not perform the migration. Why not option D? Application Migration Service migrates entire servers, not specific databases. Question 144. Which cloud concept is demonstrated by using AWS Compute Optimizer? Option A, Security Validation. Option B, Right Sizing. Option C, Elasticity. Option D. Global reach Amazon. The correct answer is B. Right sizing. Explanation. Compute Optimizer analyzes resource utilization and recommends instance types to right-size workloads. Why not option A? Security validation involves security assessments, not cost/size optimizations. Why not option C? Elasticity refers to automatic scaling, not instance type recommendations. Why not option D? Global reach geographic distribution, unrelated to resource sizing. Question 145. A company hosts a large amount of data in AWS. The company wants to identify if any of the data should be considered sensitive. Which AWS service will meet the requirement? Option A. Amazon Inspector. Option B. Amazon Macie. Option C. AWS Identity and Access Management, EAM. Option D. Amazon CloudWatch Amazon. The correct answer is B. Amazon Macie. Explanation. Macie uses machine learning to discover and classify sensitive data stored in Amazon S3. Why not option A? Inspector performs host-level vulnerability assessments, not data classification. Why not option C? EAM manages identities and access, does not discover sensitive data. Why not option D? CloudWatch monitors metrics and logs, not data content. Question 146. A company wants to protect its AWS cloud information, systems, and assets while performing risk assessment and mitigation tasks. Which pillar of the AWS well-architected framework is supported by these goals? Option A. Reliability. Option B. Security. Option C. Operational excellence. Option D. Performance efficiency Amazon. The correct answer is B. Security. Explanation. The security pillar focuses on protecting information, systems, and assets through risk assessment and mitigation controls. Why not option A? Reliability ensures workloads operate and recover from failure, not specifically risk mitigation. Why not option C? Operational excellence involves process improvements and operations automation. Why not option D? Performance efficiency optimizes resource use for performance, not security. Question 147. A user has a stateful workload that will run on Amazon EC2 for the next 3 years. What is the most cost-effective pricing model for this workload? Option A. On-demand instances. Option B. Reserved instances. Option C. Dedicated instances. Option D. Spot instances Amazon. The correct answer is B. Reserved instances. Explanation. Reserved instances deliver the highest discount for long-term, continuous EC2 usage. Why not option A? On-demand no long-term discount. Why not option C? Dedicated instances higher cost for isolated tenancy. Why not option D? Spot interruptible and unsuitable for guaranteed stateful workloads. Question 148. Who enables encryption of data at rest for Amazon Elastic Block Store, EBS? Option A. AWS support. Option B. AWS customers. Option C. AWS Key Management Service, AWS KMS. Option D. AWS Trusted Advisor Amazon. The correct answer is C. AWS Key Management Service, AWS KMS. Explanation. EBS encryption is implemented using keys stored and managed in AWS KMS. Why not option A? AWS support provides assistance, not encryption services. Why not option B? AWS customers request encryption but rely on KMS to perform it. Why not option D? Trusted advisor offers recommendations, not cryptographic functions. Question 149. What can a user accomplish using AWS Cloud Trail? Option A. Generate an IAM user credentials report. Option B. Record API calls made to AWS services. Option C. Assess the compliance of AWS resource configurations with policies and guidelines. Option D. Ensure that Amazon EC2 instances are patched with the latest security updates. Amazon. The correct answer is B. Record API calls made to AWS services. Explanation. Cloud Trail captures and stores AWS API call history for auditing and compliance. Why not option A? IAM credentials report generated via IAM, not Cloud Trail. Why not option C? Compliance assessment performed by AWS config, not Cloud Trail. Why not option D? EC2 patching customer responsibility, not Cloud Trail's function. Question 150. Which AWS service requires the customer to update and patch the guest operating system? Option A. Amazon DynamoDB. Option B. Amazon S3. Option C. Amazon EC2. Option D. Amazon Aurora. Amazon. The correct answer is C. Amazon EC2. Explanation. EC2 instances are IaaS, so customers must manage and patch the guest OS. Why not option A? DynamoDB fully managed NoSQL service. AWS handles infrastructure. Why not option B? S3 object storage. AWS manages all underlying infrastructure. Why not option D? Aurora managed database service. AWS patches the underlying OS. Congratulations on finishing the playlist. If the series was useful, follow Get It Done Certified and share it with your colleagues or study group. For the complete set of practice questions, visit cloudcertificationstore.com.